have the right. I don't even have the right camera set up. But this is an impromptu live stream here. Welcome back to the basement. I'm Ron. Have a special guest here, Jacob Sanderson. We're doing an FFPC Football Guys draft. How are you doing, Jacob? We had a little bit of pre-draft drama there, but we're all good. Set up a different stream. How are we?
Oh man, this is fun. Yeah, let's do it. We've been waiting a long time for this. We were so prepared that we started this stream the exact moment that the draft started. I haven't had a 1-9 yet, and I was like, man, 1-9 would be a pretty nice spot. You can always get Stephon Diggs. That won't happen anymore. Here we were trying to think we were trying to outsharp the room, trying to do our draft in the late slot here, and that seems like some egg is on our face. Maybe somebody will give us a gift here. What do we got?
This guy definitely just auto drafted that.
Well,
dude, I don't know I don't know if you've seen, dude. These operate a little bit weird. Where like you can get like I've been calling them backsies. Like I don't know. Sometimes you'll see like boomers like time out and they're like, oh, my connection sucks. I can't figure it out or whatever, and they'll like gift the pick back. You get some drama. I actually, you know who Schroeder is, right?
I don't know if I do.
Chad Schroeder. He one of the like biggest high stakes guys out there. He manages like 300 teams, but he's on a lot of drafts.
Good for him.
He's won like all of the big ones. I don't think he's won like a main event. I think he won the FFWC main event or something, but
cool.
Yeah, he does this full time, but I saw him in there and he's, sometimes he'll get a do-over. But yeah, a little bit of drama there. We got 4 picks here.
Yeah, nothing crazy so far.
Eckler Chase.
Yeah, there goes Eckler Chase. All right, well, that's what we usually see for the top 6. So, yeah, I mean, we'd love to see the large canine come off the board. That's for sure. You're up next.
Yeah.
So Najee just went. That's great news for us. Love that.
I think my thing is slow. Oh, okay. I see him now. What a great
if you go to the draft. So the draft room comes in usually about 10 seconds before the draft board.
Okay.
So I'll be watching the draft room, and then you got the draft board up on the stream.
All right, we got one guy.
Yeah, I mean, easy pick for us if this guy doesn't take our guy.
One guy.
Assuming that he does take our guy, what direction do we want to go? I think we talked beforehand about the possibility of not taking Kelsey because we would essentially just need one of the 3 people behind us to not take a tight end. And then we would be able to get Mixon went. We're good.
Wow.
We're fucking golden.
Wow. All right.
So we're going to have, I think we're going to have choices at our next pick. Like we're going to do Diggs. I just took Diggs.
Yeah.
But then we're going to have choices. Like we might not even be tight end. We're going to have, so let's see. Andrews, Kelsey, Pitts would all be great with us. Adams would be, I think, pretty lovely.
Dude, I'm thrilled we have Diggs right now, dude. Have you seen any of the boards from like the live drafts in Vegas?
Man,
I haven't seen him go past 6 yet.
So I'm gonna put a bunch of names in the queue, but I have like 8 guys that I would be super happy with, which is thrilling. I'd be totally fine with Dalvin, Kelsey, Adams, Swift, Barkley, Andrews, or Pitts. I'd honestly be fine with Lamb too, but I already have 2 Lambs, and there's a lot of guys here that I like. So.
Yeah, I agree. I have Lamb in one spot. He doesn't feel great at the 1-2 turn, but I think that's something that we've sort of echoed all off season.
Yeah, I took Lamb once at the 1-2 turn where I had the 12 spot, and all the top 5 wide receivers were gone. I was pretty open to doing Andrews or Pitts, but my co-managers that I was with on that one wanted to wait. It worked out. We ended up getting Waller at the 3-4 turn, which was fine by me. And then we ended up doing in that one Cook and Lamb. If it was just my team, I'd probably do Lamb and Andrews there, or Lamb and Barkley or Swift. But I think we didn't really want to go running back, especially then trying to get a tight end at the 3-4 turn. So Lamb was just kind of the guy. I got Lamb at the 209 my last draft with Cam, where we took
Cup I saw that
104, and we got Lamb at the 209, and that we were freaking psyched. But
yeah,
I'm psyched about this. I mean, we're in the boomer draft.
Yeah, this is great, dude. This is great. We have Cook, Henry here. Dude, I don't want to jinx anything, dude, but if we get to stare down Devontae, that would be
I think you can jinx whatever you want because I don't think there's a bad option at this point.
Yeah, I agree.
Like I would be thrilled with any of Andrews, Pitts, Swift, or Barkley, or Adams, and that's 5 names, and we have the 4th next pick. So, like the only way that we were going to get screwed is if we were looking at like Mixon, Najee, large canine.
Yeah, that is
Mark
very
Andrews
true.
just goes there. There goes the thumbnail.
Damn.
But we still have the Pitts dream. We have the Adams dream. We have the Barkley dream. Oh, we're on the clock, and Pitts just went. So there goes the tight end.
So I guess they're forcing us to take Devontae. I mean, Saquon is in question.
No,
but I mean, I don't think we can pass on Diggs Devontae start, man.
Let's piss, man. Let's piss him.
Yeah, that's what it is. Let's do it. All right, that is nice.
Oh, that's my first Diggs and my first Adams in FFPC.
That's a dream. Oh my goodness. I mean, I'm a little bit bummed we missed on an elite tight end there, but like, dude,
we could still get Waller at 4-4.
Yeah, that is very true.
Or we could just piece it together. We could do some Njokus, some Higbees,
I have one
Kuwabenons.
I have one 0 RB team, and I do like it just doesn't feel as good when you don't have an elite tight end in a 0 RB team. Like you do want to just have that advantage everywhere else, but sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
I'm pretty adamant that in a 0 RB build, you want to have at least the elite quarterback or the elite tight end. But I'm not like super tied to having both. Just
that's fair.
I have found so I've done 5 of these so far. 2 of them were 0 RBs, or at least 0 RB adjacent. One we tapped out in the 6th with Dobbins. The other one was a pure 0 RB. Our first running back was Ramondre in the 8th.
Wow.
And then I'd done one hero. That was the one where we took Cook at the 1-2 turn, and we didn't take our second running back until the 10th. And then the other 2 were both running backs. Actually, I did a CMC Fournette from the 1-1 and a CMC Javonte from the 1-1.
Okay.
And I would say this, like the one that we did the Dobbins team, we were still like a little thin at wide receiver, right? Because we took Dobbins in the 6th. We had Pitts on that team. We had Kyler on that team.
Yeah, so you're making a lot of detours.
So it's like, okay, it's nice to have the elite quarterback, the elite tight end, but I still felt like we had some level of receiver insecurity. So I don't mind like just keeping on with the yellow for a little while, because the nice thing is if we take we take 5 receivers the first 5 rounds, and maybe a 6th or a 7th and 7 or 8, then we're just done at receiver.
Yeah.
And then we can sort of interchange over the latter half of the draft between running backs and tight ends. I don't mind doing that if that's the way the draft goes. But
I do want to how's this work if Diggs played today? I did want to break that down a little bit, where this is in like FBGs or a lot of these tournaments like FFPC or NFC, all these. They let you draft on Friday, Saturday. I mean, like I think I saw like a 10 a.m. Sunday draft on one of them too, but you get to draft the guys from Thursday and you can start them in your lineup. So it kind of creates like a weird environment where, I mean, we didn't see it in this draft where Diggs went 9, but you could make the case that Diggs could be in play as soon as like 5 because you can use last night's, big performance in week 1. So it's going to be interesting to see like where Akers goes, where Gabe Davis goes, where Henderson goes. And then it kind of creates like a weird environment. You can either, buy low, buy high on things. Which one is Ron? Oh yeah, we're at the 9 spot. RJ Barrett 50 cal is what we landed on for our team name. That's late, dude. What is that? CD Lamb at the 210?
I don't feel as good about our 2-9 anymore. I thought that was unique, but.
And who'd you open that with? Jefferson?
That was Cup. So same as that person got. I did one. So I've been really lucky where this is now draft number 6 in the Football Guys Challenge, and I've had 2 1-1s, 2 1-4s, and then this 1-9 and 1-1-12. So I've been fortunate enough to be in the top 5 majority of the time. So I got 2 CMCs out of that, 1 Cup, 1 Jefferson.
Really? I like I told you, I haven't been able to get to Jefferson yet. And it's like Jefferson's my 103. I just keep getting to a spot where I've had the 101 and the 102, so I'm taking McCaffrey. I've had the 104, but I was forced into Cup there. I haven't had the 104 yet. I've had the 105, and I keep getting forced into either like Cup or Chase.
Forced into a Cup or Chase. It doesn't seem too forced. It seems pretty nice.
I'm hunting for one. I will say on the NFC they let you like pick what draft slot you have. So I put 4 at the top. I'm hoping after this, I told you I'm hopping into an NFC. I'm hoping for Jefferson. We'll see.
I'm like, I don't want to jinx it, but this looks like kind of a boomery room. I wonder if we'll get someone we really like at the 3-0. No.
I will say Saquon going that late in like a boomer room is kind of crazy.
Well, that's because they're all boomers, right? They don't want to take the injured guy.
Oh yeah, of course.
They got to take Aaron Jones.
Well, Javonte's a little bit out of character there.
Yeah, the Mixon Javonte.
No, but the boomers do love Javonte. Yeah, Mixon at 8 is crazy, dude.
Yeah, that's a choice. It's certainly a choice that you could make. Not a choice that I would make.
It's on the table. It's definitely a path that you can go down.
You know, there's 2 roads you can go by.
Mixon at 8 is crazy, dude. I've been getting lit up in the comments section. I've been saying that Mixon's a fade where his ADP, I mean, like in like efficient places like Underdog and FFPC, his price isn't as bad where you can get him like, I guess like mid-second sometimes, but home leagues, you'll go like 110, 1.9. It's just like, there's no way. There's not really a ceiling there that we chase. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Obviously. Yeah, everyone's like, oh, but their line's better.
To be entirely honest, if he was available for us at a 309, I don't think I'd want to take him.
Really? That's I have him like right next to like Fournette at like the 2-3 turn. I think that's where I
vastly prefer Leonard Fournette.
You'd have Fournette over Mixon?
By a ton. Yeah. I don't view Mixon any different than I view James Conner.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like to me, I actually, to be entirely honest, I actually prefer Conner straight up. Because I think that there's a better chance that he actually is playing in every high leverage situation. Whereas I think Mixon is drawing stone dead for third down work and 2-minute work. So I think with him, like he's going to play all the early downs. He'll get all the goal line work. And then, you know, he's going to have some receiving work on early downs. But like, I think that there's actually a better chance that Conner is playing like 80% snaps, getting all the 2-minute drill work than Mixon. I mean, obviously that's never like a decision you'll ever have to make. But I think that's just like kind of what I'm saying to explain just how much I don't want to draft Joe Mixon. Like,
it sucks too because like we're all aware of it, but like Mixon in college had like a receiving profile, you know, similar to like Kamara, Swift, and it just never materialized. Like, yeah, I guess it was kind of because of Giovanni Bernard.
Well, and it was kind of in college, hilariously, he was sharing with the same guy he's sharing with now.
Yeah, but they were almost in different roles in college. Is the crazy part where like Pirine was the between the tackles banger, and it's just like I don't know if it's a coaching blunder or what, but it is an interesting case study. You know, a guy like I don't know.
Dude, we have 2 guys. Better feeling in the world than watching Nick Chubb go off the board before.
Dude, 3 RBs out the. Okay.
Okay, we have one. We have one more hope. We have one more hope, and we have 1 pick to sweat for it.
Okay.
To me, there's like such a drop off after the guy that's in the queue right now. But
I agree.
I don't even know who would take after that.
We would be scrambling.
I'm gonna put my top options in there, but it'd be a lot worse.
Gabe Davis might be in play here.
Well, I don't know if I want to do that with Diggs.
No, I agree.
If we didn't have Diggs, I'd consider it.
I'd be curious to see where he goes, though. This guy,
yes, we're good. We're good.
Wow. All right.
Travis
locked in T. Oh, my. 3 running backs at the gate. This is a crazy start, dude.
Oh, my goodness. Let's
go. All right.
Let's go.
All right. This is great. We need this.
Oh, my goodness. Dude. I don't know. I didn't get a lot of golf in this year, but I have a tee time right here.
That's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Jeez, dude.
Oh, I'll press the button. We haven't even pressed the button yet.
Oh, geez. Okay. Whatever. Whatever. We could have gotten autoed somebody else there.
All right. It's only through now 3 rounds, but we are already actually. Was this true after? Oh yeah, three rounds, and we're the. Oh no, us and the 3 hole are the only teams without a running back yet. Although the 3 hole made an extremely bizarre decision.
Yeah, that's crazy. I
guess it's like congrats on your week 1 win, right? You get to win week 1.
I guess. Yeah, I didn't
especially
really
factor
that in.
Like he has Cup and Allen. So if we draw that team in week 1, then we just lose.
I want to say a lot of these are like all play in week 1. I think FBG probably isn't. Didn't they have 2 all play weeks at some point? I don't know. They all have like, wow, that's a really early for Godwin.
Yeah, that's honestly, I'm okay with it because I think Godwin is a steal, but he does make roster construction a little bit difficult, and I've drafted a ton of him, so I don't really mind.
I was going to ask if you sort of cooled on him a little bit.
No, I'm
I mean,
like
it seems
all
like he
in.
might not play week 1, but yeah, I've still been drafting like 5th, 6th round in a bunch of
Oh,
places.
I would draft him in the 4th.
Really? Okay, that makes me feel better.
I mean, I think he's the best value in the entire player pool.
Really?
Like I think from from the weeks that matter the most, week 13 through 17, I think he's like a round 2 level value.
I do agree.
And if you're able to get that, especially with the way that we tend to build teams, we're usually getting him as our 4th wide receiver. So all you have to do is just withstand a few weeks early season. It's really okay. Let's put some names in the queue here.
I don't want to. I don't want to flash the queue. Okay, so there.
No, you don't have to flash the queue.
Yeah, yeah. That's
so
why
I think
I'm just keeping it on the draft board. I'm going to pull it up on a different screen.
I think it's. I mean, I have a pretty strong lean to the top guy in the queue, but I'm not.
I just idea of who that is.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be okay, and I think we're going to get that guy if we want him.
I'm assuming you're looking at Waller.
Yeah, I think that this room has been boomer enough that I would be surprised if we don't get a wide receiver we like at the 5'9".
I agree. I'm down to lock that in.
Are you good with Waller? I don't want to
100%.
force your hand here if you want.
No. I would like Waller very much here.
Okay, then let's. All right,
that would be perfect. We have such a sweet, 3 wide receivers out the gate. We lock in an elite tight end.
Only thing I didn't even think about until I already pressed the button.
Raiders,
but I don't think it matters. Was that I don't know if I love the 2 Raiders, but I just think Adams at 2-4. We're always going to take.
Yeah.
Such an advantage to have an elite tight end in FFPC. You're able to draft them at a reasonable value. And like Kittle is just such a question mark right now that Waller seems clearly ahead of him with. I mean, I already like Waller more than Kittle in tight end premium, but with the injury situation, I mean, this is just a really nice start. And I bet come round 5, like I think that we're going to probably see a wide receiver that we like available to us, whether that's like Bateman or Metcalf or what, we'll see. But
I agree. Okay. He goes Gabe Davis. That's a great price for Gabe Davis. For all the things that he's sort of screwed up a little bit, being pretty generous there.
Patrick Mahomes, and then Zeke. Yeah, this is boomer.
I love this. Is amazing. I will be honest. I haven't played this is my first FBG just because the rake is a little bit tough in these, but I mean, like the draft rooms are so soft.
So what have you mostly been playing?
So I have a little bit of a love-hate relationship with the football guys because, like, I don't know, I've seen like the percentages. The rake is pretty tough. I got screwed on a lot of Jonathan Taylor teams last year where the bye week screwed me over in the league championship.
Makes sense.
So I've been doing. I think I have 6 NFCs, 4 FFWCs, and then I'm gonna have 2 football guys.
Nice.
NFC is a little bit weird though because you get the 3rd round reversal, so it's nice to kind of mix up your exposures where you can get some kind of like you can get some like this team.
This team could have been 4th round as that guy's receiver 1.
Oh my god, dude, what is this room, bro?
Okay. Oh my god, we're really gonna like the wide receiver that we get at the 5'9".
There goes Amon-Ra. Okay.
Yeah, I figured that we had to get him at the 4-4 if we wanted it. Yeah. But I'm pretty okay with the decision that we made. I would have been okay if we did Amon-Ra too. That sucks. I'll have no Amon-Ra. Actually, I'm drafting one more team tomorrow with Cam now, so I might have to force an Amon-Ra.
That's gonna be a football guys too.
That will also be a football guys. Yeah.
That'll be fun.
Yeah, that'll be fun for sure. We've done. I feel like the problem with these round 4 or 5 wide receivers is I just like all of them. So
yeah,
like the only ones that I don't like particularly are Allen Robinson, who unfortunately is now probably around 7 wide receivers. Brandon Cooks for sure. McLaurin, I'm not that big on, although I actually have drafted McLaurin on a co-managed team. I was outvoted on that one. So
I'm looking through it. Yeah, there's a ton of things I'd be very much okay with on the way back.
Let's see. You want to ask some of these questions here? We got a bunch of questions in the chat. We can.
What do we got? With taking Devontae Adams and Waller, what's the thought process on taking Derek Carr late and putting punting QB basically?
Well, I don't think that would be like. I don't know that Carr would necessarily be like the goal or whatever, but I do think it's not a bad idea in these drafts where if you don't have a pressing stack or there's not a quarterback that comes to you at value, Pearson the fourth is such a joke.
Oh my God.
I think that there's something to be said for just letting the room decide who your quarterback is, right?
Yeah.
Because once like Lance goes off the board, Lance and Brady, I don't have that much of a preference. So like if it comes to a point where it's like, Joe Burrow obviously makes sense for our team. We have Higgins, Russ, we don't have a stack, but that would be a fine option. Dak, Carr, etc. Once it's kind of down to those guys, a lot of times, unless people are backing up their quarterbacks, which a lot of times you aren't, you're sometimes just getting a stupid value. So like it's entirely possible we could get something like Carr in the 14th, Fields in the 15th. And maybe we like that situation, but maybe a quarterback that we like comes to us at a nice cost, and we pull the trigger on that. But I think it's a decent backup plan.
1,000%. I will say, it doesn't feel. I don't know, man. I've never been an elite quarterback guy, but it just doesn't feel comfy having like a Carr as a QB1. Like obviously, when you get pushed into it, the rest of your team is nice because of it. But I will say, probably my least favorite team right now is one where I got screwed over at quarterback, and I drafted this team literally right when the Deshaun Watson news came out, and I was like, oh, he'll come back after week 6. So I went Deshaun Watson and Justin Fields late, and I'm just spiraling now. Because it went from it came out as like 6 games. So I drafted literally like the night that the news came out, and then like 2 days later, it's like, oh, they're gonna appeal or whatever. So it was a little bit of a boneheaded move. I did get both in like the double-digit rounds, but I'm starting Matt Ryan this week
over Fields.
It's a 6-point passing TD league.
Right.
It's close. I mean, if you want to talk me into Fields, I would be listening, but it's extremely close.
Well, I think so. I'll say this too for the Carr thing. He would need to fall a lot in this scenario. But let's say we drafted a quarterback, like not one of the truly prominent superstars, like we don't draft like Lamar or Hurts or something. But let's say we draft someone like Lance or Russ or Burrow. I think an option that we could pursue is still tacking on Carr if he's available in like the 14th, because let's say we get to a spot where we make the sprint and we're down by like 30 points going into the last week, but we have the option of rolling out Carr, Adams, Waller. Like that's a way that we can make up a lot of points, right? If we play it like, okay, this is a week, we just have to hope that Carr throws 5 passing touchdowns. And they all go to our guys. That's not a bad like ace in the hole, where maybe Carr isn't our quarterback one for most of the season. But I mean, that's even a weekly option where
I agree.
It's a managed league. The Vegas usually plays in the late window. They play on Monday night a lot too, I believe. So there could be weeks where like say we get shellacked by the other team on Thursday night, or we're down in the early games and we have 2 quarterbacks that are playing in the late window. Like Carr could always be our kind of like our late swap in DFS, where it's like, oh, this isn't looking particularly good for us this week. We need to go for the home run. Why don't we just put out, this Carr double stack and hope that hits in a massive way, and then we make up, points, right?
Especially in tight end premium, man. You can get like a Waller 40-point game and not take as much away from Devontae Adams as it'd be on the other way, where maybe that would just be like a 16-point game for Waller. Not 40, but I'm exaggerating. But
I love this guy's team at the 4 hole. I thought we might get Deontay at the 5-9 because of the injury question marks, but that would have been a special privilege.
He is doing great here. Still have, we're up in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and I got 5 wide receivers that I'd be completely fine with here.
Who are your 5? I got 4. I'm looking at.
Judy, Juju, Bateman, Moore, Metcalf.
Oh yeah, okay. I think maybe I was a little bit
more. There goes Cooks.
I would say we wanted to play the ADP game a little bit more on Elijah. I hope to get him in the 6th. That would be okay.
I do agree.
Are there any running backs available to us? No, there's not. There's certainly not. Oh, Juju goes. Darn. That would have been a fucking sick pick.
I got like the Fantasy Mojo ADP pulled up right now looking at it. I feel like it might even be in the draft room, but
yeah.
These are from Juju. The ones that happened today. Yeah, Juju would have been nice.
He was a bit of a tier.
I don't have a super strong lean here, by the way, between, like Bateman, Metcalf, Judy.
I would say I have a pretty strong lean towards Judy, but
yeah.
I'm not I wouldn't fight you over it. I already have one Judy. I have one Bateman. I don't have a Metcalf yet. I also think we might be able to get Metcalf in the 6th.
I do agree. I have I'm not like super exposed to any of them. But I do have one share of all, so I don't really have.
Juju would have been the guy I would have like pounded the table for, but now that he's gone, I'm a little bit more open-minded. I'd be pretty happy with any of the three. David Montgomery goes, oh no, what are we gonna do? No, David Montgomery. Yeah, my preference is Jerry Jeudy here, but I'm definitely open to the others.
Yeah, Judy's my highest ranked player by a lot here.
Okay, let's do that then. Plus, it gives us another one of those late quarterback options. Like I really like the idea now where we have an out to both Russ and Burrow, which are two guys that have a tendency where they can potentially fall. And the nice 100%. Thing is Sutton is we have Sutton covered on the long term, right? Because Sutton goes here at the 111 or the 311. We're picking out of the 9. So every odd round on the long term, we are unobstructed by any potential Russ stacks, which I think is a nice opportunity for us where, say we're potentially considering quarterback at like the 10, 04 or whatever. We could take that high upside running back there because Russ at that point then probably makes it back at least 20 more picks right before we have the Sutton manager.
I like that across the board pretty much. And we have Carr after them too.
Right, like we have Carr as our
catch.
We have Carr as our floor. We have Russ. We have Burrow. You can always take one of the rushers unstacked if we like our price on them. So I like this. Love the start. I mean,
this is a beauty, dude. There goes Lamar. It's a bit of a bummer.
I don't mind that, to be honest. I think we're gonna. I think I want another wide receiver at this next.
Yeah,
pick.
I agree.
I love those 3 that we have in the queue right there.
I feel like FFPC is not a spot where you can luck into like a 7th round Lamar. You could probably luck into a 7th round Kyler Murray, but like we're both like Kyler Murray'd out right now.
We're really Kyler Murray.
He keeps coming to me in the 7th, and it's just I can't turn down 7th round Kyler Murray.
I got Kyler Murray at the 809 in one draft.
Really? Are you still strong on Kyler over Hurts?
So I'm kind of indifferent. I think like if I have the Eagle stack set up, I'll take the Eagle stack. If I have the Cardinal stack set up, I'll take Cardinals. At this point, I would break the tie to Hurts because I have so much Kyler. But I think like from a which player would I like more drafting for my life, I prefer Kyler. But I think that Hurts is also an excellent pick, and this is great to see a bunch of players that we weren't going to draft go off the board here, which seems to be a theme. So
one of the I'll have picks that make me lose sleep. One of them was I looking back at it because I have so much Kyler. The last one of these I did was the 0 RB team where I didn't have an elite tight end, and I
locked entire receiver. We love here.
Yeah, this is amazing. But I went Devonta Smith in the 6th round. I came back around and took Kyler, but I could have taken Hurts and stacked him with Devonta. Wish I did. Oh, there goes Metcalf. Man,
that's the one guy I don't have a share of that I really would have loved. But it's okay. I think we're going to see. I'm almost certain that we're going to see Bateman go here on the stack, which sucks.
Please don't, buddy. 6th round Bateman would be absurd.
Yeah, this guy's going to stack Lamar with Bateman for sure. God, I really wish.
What did he do? He goes Bateman.
Yeah, he took Bateman.
Okay. So what? Elijah Moore.
This sucks so much that this Allen Robinson thing just happened last night because he would have gone off the board by now for sure.
Yeah. He would have pushed something back to us.
Okay. Do we want to do Elijah then?
Yeah, I think it's Elijah for me.
It's funny. I love the idea of getting Elijah in the 6th, but we're so close to getting Bateman.
We're so close to getting Bateman. Yeah.
Or Metcalf. Yeah, I'm good with Elijah though. Do you have a case for anybody else? Thomas, A-Rob?
No.
I don't see any running back. Certainly not. I don't think I want to do Hurts or Kyler here. It doesn't feel like much of a value for an unstacked quarterback. I agree. Yeah, I think Elijah's the way to go.
All right, you can lock that in.
Okay. Well, that's a really nice start.
And what is I probably should know this right now, but it's 2 wide receiver, 2 flex, I believe.
Yeah, so 4 wide receiver.
I bet. Yeah. That did set up nicely for 10, where he could get Bateman on the way back.
We're in such a nice spot here where, we have like no concerns really about Diggs, Adams, Higgins being in our starting lineup every single week outside of injury and buys. And then if we just get one of Judy or Elijah, who are both like really high upside profiles to hit in a massive way, and we're probably going to add at least one more pretty high upside wide receiver within the next few picks, like we're set up in a position where we can be winning the flex, every single week.
100%.
I really, I mean, man, this is just a nice
No, this is
yellow
perfect.
stream right here.
I will say I had an open just like this last year that I honestly was blessed to have in the football guys, but it went, I think I went, it was either Diggs Devontae or Devontae Diggs. I don't know. It's one of the two, but I went Devontae Diggs up top, and then I think I went Swift, and then I think I went Kittle, which was really fun. Kittle didn't really pan out as much.
No.
Wow, 6th round Lazard here is great.
Love to see it.
But
Lazard over Allen Robinson, by the way. That's pretty hilarious.
Allen Robinson, the ADP from today, it's saying Allen Robinson's 6th rounder. So I guess it's fair.
I mean, if we can get Allen Robinson in the 7th, then I consider me interested.
Yeah, I do agree. I think I was drafting him when he was going I think underdog. Well, he had an ADP, or not drafting him, but about even on at pick 55-ish is where he was going for a second, and then he just shot up to 38, 42 area.
I was mixing him in on occasion when he was going at the 4 or 5 turn. He wasn't one of my preferred options, but I didn't think that he was egregious or anything.
Yeah.
But since he went up into the early 4th, he even goes ahead of Waddle. I mean, I would
even see him in the late 3rd sometimes, dude.
There's just never a universe where I'm taking him ahead of Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, I agree. I told you I ended up with I'm surprised you don't have more Waddle. I've taken him especially a lot of these drafts I've done during the I guess the soft tissue scare is what I would call it. But I keep getting him in the early 4th, and I'm trying to think how many teams I have him on now, but it's bad.
Well, I haven't drafted anywhere where Waddle goes, unfortunately. So I think so. I have Waddle's my I think in my top 5 most drafted players on DraftKings Best Ball. He's I have quite a bit overweight on him on Underdog, but in FFPC, I mean, the first 2 drafts that I did were from the 1-1. We were never going to get Waddle there. Then we did 2 from the 409. He went right before us in both of those. And then I would have been pretty open-minded to taking him at the 3-4 turn in the one that we did. But ultimately, we would choose to do Mike Williams and Darren Waller there, which I was perfectly happy with. Pollard.
Williams is one that oh, man. Come on, dude. Man, that would have been so fun, dude.
God damn it.
6th round Pollard, dude.
Come on, man.
This guy's out of his mind, dude.
Doesn't
that guy flopped,
dude?
He had such a great 1-2 and just killed it.
Is that guy not aware that Tony Pollard plays behind Ezekiel Elliott? Is he not aware that the Cowboys go as Zeke goes?
How? Because I know we're high on Pollard, contingent on that he has the passing down work. How certain are you that he has that role locked up?
Not particularly certain.
That's what I'll be looking that's I think one of the biggest storylines for this Bucks Cowboys game. Where if Pollard can just be out there on 2-minute stuff, that would be amazing.
Yeah, I mean that's game changing, right? Because if he's playing I'm sure that he's going to get passing usage whenever he plays, and that he's going to play. But if he can get situational passing usage, which he never got last year, that's legitimately game changing. Because at that point, then he's just Kareem Hunt, but
and he can hit without a Zeke injury, which is what people don't really understand.
Yeah, if he's actually getting 2-minute work and he's getting 3rd down work, if he's the situation based passing game running back. Or I think he has 2 outs. That's one. As he gets Cam Akers in the 6th at this juncture in this economy.
God bless.
In this economy?
Yeah, I can't, dude. Over Allen Robinson, over Zach Moss,
over Darrell Henderson.
Jeez, dude.
Yeah, I think that with Pollard, he has 2 outs to standalone value. One is that they run more 2 running back sets and that he's actually playing slot wide receiver. And the other is that he's getting situational pass usage. I think that the former is maybe a little bit more likely than people think. I understand that nobody ever plays 2 running back sets. But what I would do is Pollard's the more dynamic player. They don't really have a slot wide receiver. I would just play Pollard at slot wide receiver in passing situations. And then I would have Zeke as the running back because of his pass protection ability. And that's probably how I would deploy them optimally. How to deploy them optimally would be to sit Zeke on the
it's maybe never cut Zeke out there.
Yeah, but I don't think we can expect that. I mean, I think anything that if Pollard's just playable at RB2, then he's such a smash pick because I mean we're a Zeke injury away from him being a 1st round pick.
And he's also a guy where people do say he's never carried a bell cow workload. Maybe he doesn't have the size for it. he almost like would thrive off of like Zeke being his meat shield on like 12 touches.
Yeah.
I don't know if Zeke being healthy they would ever lower his usage to that point, but like that would almost be ideal to just sort of use Zeke between the 20s as like almost his battering ram, and let Zeke sort of fall into RB3 uncertainty.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we still have one guy on the board that's pretty interesting.
I think four guys to me that look pretty interesting. Oh, there goes A-Rob finally.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about. That would have been kind of fun.
Oh,
but I'm also kind of down that they saved us from that as well.
Didn't
I'm not sure I wanted that stink on my team anyways. All right, so I'm looking at ADP. I gotta be honest, I'm not lost, but I got a couple.
Well, I put a bunch of guys in the queue. Feel free to add anybody else you like. But
okay, I see it.
I mean, I'm gonna add one more name to the queue as well.
Man, what a way to spend the 101. McCaffrey, Pittman, Tyreek. You had something going there, and then Schultz, Akers, Jacobs.
Yeah, that's team's chalked.
I'm glad Kyler went there.
Team 2 self-ejected with Dameon Pierce. You hate to see it. Yeah. Team 3 is really just not going to happen. Team 4 is vibing right now. I like Team 4.
Yeah, Team 4 does look good. I was 6 rounds a little bit too rich for Edmonds for me, but I think structurally he could get away with it probably.
Yeah, it's fine. Team 5 is coffined, fully coffined.
Kadarius in the 4th is crazy, man.
Yeah, I mean, he started running. He's a one wide receiver, and we're in the 7th, and that wide receiver's ADP is yet to come up. So he drafted him in the 4th. So that team is completely coffined.
That is crazy.
Team 6. I mean, it's not really like I don't love the player selection from 4, 5, 6, but he's structurally in a perfectly adequate position.
Yeah.
Team 7, that's pretty early on Patrick Mahomes, but he does end up stacking it with Juju. I think if those picks were in reverse order, where he got Juju in the 4th and Mahomes in the 5th, I don't think we'd say anything about it. Alan Lazard is a tough click, but I mean that's just a player selection complaint. It's not really like a structural complaint.
It's pretty funny that like that's like the dichotomy. You took a wide receiver, but
yeah, congrats, you took a wide receiver. Unfortunately, you took Alan Lazard. Is it bad that like all the best players on the board are still receivers? Oh man. Okay, let's talk this pick out. So I think first of all, is there anyone that's not in the queue that you would like to nominate for consideration?
No.
Okay, so let's talk about the guys in the queue then. So we got Devonta, Drake London, and Ayuk seem like the clear top 3 receivers to me. Probably don't want to draft 2 of those 3 guys. Probably just one of those 3 guys, and then I think one of Ramondre or Clyde. And honestly, I think that Darrell Henderson is worth some level of consideration. There goes Clyde. Well, I think what might be the move from like a playing the draft board perspective would be to take Ramondre Stevenson a little bit earlier than I would like to. But I think that if we do that I think there's a pretty decent drop off after him at the running back position. And then we kind of take our chances that we get one of Smith, Ayuk, or London coming back to us.
I love that idea. I'm down to let's push the button on Ramondre.
Okay. I mean, the other way to do it is we take a wide receiver, and if Ramondre doesn't fall to us, then we take like Hunt or Patterson or someone like that. But I think I like Ramondre more than those guys.
Yeah, I agree. I'd say he's in a tier ahead. He's someone I've been wanting to draft. So he's a good consolation prize. I'm missing out on Tony or Pollard.
I mean, I think him and Pollard are similar bets.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. That's my second team here now with Ramondre as my RB1. Yeah. That's pretty funny.
What price did you get him in that one? 7th?
We took him at the 809.
Oh man. Oh, 809 was that how recent was that?
That was this week. We did that on Tuesday, I believe. Tuesday, yeah.
That's lucky, dude. I've been waiting for this guy to fall outside of like the 6th round, dude.
That one was a lot running. That was a lot wide receiver heavier draft though. Like we took Bateman at the 504 in that, whereas he obviously goes right before our pick at the 604 here. So
I think that was a good call, though.
Yeah, Renfro going is really terrific.
Yeah, that is nice. And Penny. I have one Penny team. As much as you don't like him.
That's fine. You can have a Penny team, just not with me.
Yeah, exactly. But I think there is something to be said. I mean, I don't know if Kenneth Walker like almost like red shirts here. I think he's kind of interesting at like the 9th round area.
Yeah.
7th round I can never do, but
yeah, kind of like Damian Harris. Oh, I don't like to see IU.
Oh geez, okay. We're gonna be sweating a little bit. But I have 2 Damian Harris teams so far, and I'm sick to my stomach about it. But I got both of the shares. I got them in the 10th round.
Okay. I don't mind that.
Damian Harris.
I have no issue with
hero RB, 0 RB builds. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
like he's there, and it's just like
he's Rashad Penny, except in a good offense.
Yeah.
Or maybe not good offense, but better team in Seattle, or at least with a good defense, right?
Yeah,
even if they're not good on offense, be able to. If the doomsday scenario hits and we see both the receivers that we want go off the board, what are your thoughts here? I think that like at this point, I kind of only want to take receivers I'm excited about, just based on that we have a lot already. I think that Hunt would be a pretty decent pick here.
The only other wide receiver that I would maybe throw his name in the ring would be Hopkins, but I haven't been crazy about, sort of waiting the 6 weeks.
Super out on Hopkins.
Yeah.
I'd be more into like Christian Kirk or Traylon Burks before I would take DeAndre Hopkins, to be honest.
That's fair. Kirk's still on the board.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't
please take him here 11.
I think Kirk is like a great pick at this range if your team doesn't look like our team.
Yeah. I remember we had a conversation last year on Twitter or something where like I had too much Kirk exposure and I was like slightly upset about it. Obviously it worked out fine, but like even as someone that has loved Kirk, like I can't do it this year. Okay, we have one singular guy.
Well, here's the other guy if Smith goes here. What do you make of Darrell Henderson?
I wouldn't be
thrilled. Do you think that what we saw last night is just like what he is? Because if that's what he is, then if that's what he is all season, then he's a round 4 pick.
Who did he go with?
You went fucking Smith.
Oh my god, that makes me sick to my stomach. All right,
that's a killer. Okay, well, let's talk this through. So
Burrow at all interesting here?
So I wouldn't yet. That feels forced.
That's fair
to me. Like I still like Lance more than Burrow straight up. And Russell Wilson's still there. We have him stacked. We can still do like Brady if we need be. I wouldn't want to take quarterback here. I'm fine with Hendo. I'm fine with Hunt. I'm fine with Christian Kirk.
I think I prefer. Man, all right, we got 24 seconds. What's your lean? Henderson over Hunt? I have so much Henderson that it doesn't feel great to take an 8th round of him.
I'm good with Hunt. I'm good with Hunt, and I'm good with Kirk.
Let's go Hunt. I like that.
Okay.
And won't put too much pressure on our staff to, go
sucks.
complete running back. Yeah, that does suck.
Yeah, I feel like now I definitely regret the Stevenson pick because I think, I mean, I definitely like Ayuk, London, and Smith more than Stevenson in a vacuum. And we could have had, Hunt plus one of those 3. I thought that was really unlikely that all 3 would go.
I agree.
Especially after the first 2 were not them. Man, that sucks.
Yeah, that's a bad beat. We had 4 to go and all 3 went.
Oh well, I think we're still in a really nice draft. That's just
I agree. That's what sucks. Dude, you get to these pressure points in these drafts where it's just like there's one decision.
Yeah,
I do agree that Ramondre is a tier above Hunt though. I mean, that is a tough 2v2. Like, of course, you would probably want like Ayuk, Smith, London plus Hunt over Ramondre and Hunt.
Yeah, right. Like we're getting Hunt in either scenario there, right? So
yeah.
And I mean, who knows? Maybe we even would have gotten Ramondre, right? Only one team takes a running back between our picks. Obviously, there's a world where we could have gotten like Ayuk and Ramondre, which that would have been a beautiful world.
Yeah. I don't know. I will say he went Penny. Maybe he goes Ramondre there. I don't
think Team 11. Team 11 took Henry and James Conner. I don't think that's a guy who's taking Ramondre Stevenson.
Yeah, it does suck to only see one running back go with that turn.
Like that to me, he's like that guy is a Rashad Penny drafter.
Yeah,
But you never know. I mean, one of the teams that took wide receiver, right? Like they could have
Yeah.
taken. We were going to take a receiver at the 8-9, and then our 8-4, and then our receivers left the board, so we didn't anymore, right? Like, I think Team 10 easily. Maybe they wanted to take Ramondre, but they decided to do double receiver instead, right? That's totally plausible. Love seeing Burrow and Brady go because we have a stack with Russ, and I would just always want to take Trey Lance. So
I agree.
I think that's a nice situation for us.
The 1-2 guys will sort of at the mercy of whatever quarterbacks they don't take.
Yeah,
I gotta imagine at least one of them takes one here, but it's not like it's the end of the world if they were to take one.
Let's see. Well, the team 1 might take Dak. Like they might be waiting on Dak because they have Schultz.
Yeah. Looking through now, Lance's ADP's 9th round.
Team 2 is interesting because they could have taken Kyler with Marquise at the last turn, and they chose not to. And they were probably hoping for Brady here, and they didn't get Brady. So they could go in any direction. Oh, they could take Lance, though. They do have Debo. That's a little bit scary.
Yeah, that is scary.
But, I mean, he took Thielen. He took Mike Evans. He took Dameon Pierce. That seems like a guy who's afraid of Jimmy Garoppolo, if you ask me. Maybe you should stack Debo with Jimmy Garoppolo.
Let's see it, buddy. I'm very curious to see what they do here in terms of quarterback.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're golden if Lance slips through these next 2 picks, but who knows?
Henderson's ADP has been 8th round in these today. I don't know how many drafts have happened today, but probably
well,
a decent chunk.
I'll tell you this much: if he somehow gets to us the 9th, I'm gonna actually pound this table.
No, I
don't think he's gonna get to us, but that would be nice. Imagine taking Miles Sanders over Darrell Henderson in the 600.
Cordero.
We'd love to see it.
I don't know. Some are saying that we started a running back run here. Who would have thought?
We are running back thought leaders.
Yeah.
Dawson Knox. That's
wow.
Again, that's a pick you can make.
You've been given a gift of Christian McCaffrey and spit in his face, brother.
Not
coin flip.
Schultz.
His name's coin flip. That's probably he does before every pick. He just has a cue and he flips a coin.
What is he, like Javier Bardem?
He just starts out a draft of really structurally sound with McCaffrey, Pittman, and Hill, and then he becomes Two-Face. Yeah, starts self-sabotaging and flipping a coin.
Schultz plus Knox is like if you were to just make a tight end pairing that,
especially after what Knox did last night,
triggers me. Yeah,
he has a 10th round ADP today.
So Knox is an interesting one where like I'm quite out on Knox generally, but I will say that I think that he is potentially most primed for a bounce back of the disappointing guys last night because he played a ton of snaps, but he was held into block far more often than he ever was last year. And, the Rams, I think, are noted for having a pretty decent pass rush. You also just look at early season, you might prioritize protecting the quarterback a little bit more. I think that I would be surprised if they just decided this season that they're going to completely change the way they operate in terms of how they deploy their tight end position.
This guy not going Lance, by the way, is huge.
Yeah. So I think that Knox might bounce back. I mean, the thing is, he isn't very good, right? He doesn't earn targets. But I do think that he's going to see a higher route participation than he saw in week 1. And, he still plays in the Bills. So if he's going to run 80% of the routes on the Bills, that has a certain floor to it from a touchdown perspective. But I still think that, he's just not good. I'd rather have David Njoku over him straight up, to be entirely honest.
That hurts my heart. I truly do hate to admit that I think I have one Knox team on a redraft managed team. It is non-tight end premium.
I have Knox in the football guys. I have Knox in the football guys challenge. Unfortunately, I took him at the 11:01.
Really? Oh, 11:01's a great price though.
Yeah, that was a weird ass team where we got boxed out of the elite tight ends. We were drafted from the 101, which is just really hard spot to get an elite tight end at. And we were going to fully punt tight end. We took Kyler at the 6-7 turn, And then Ertz was still sitting there at the 901. We were like, all right, we hate Zach Ertz, but it's stacked. And he's like 2 rounds after ADP, so let's do it. And then 2 rounds later, we're like, oh my God, we can get Knox. So we ended up taking Knox and Ertz and Njoku. So we'll piece together a good tight end somehow. Hopkins at the 9th round, by the way, not out on. Okay with Hopkins.
Yeah, I agree. I think that was probably fine.
Yeah, really good. But I like
how far are you pushing it down? Like you like straight up between like Hopkins, like Lockett, Christian Kirk?
Well, I would prefer Kirk. I have no interest in Lockett in a managed league. I prefer like Burks to Hopkins.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
Look, I think
because it is it's a similar where you're kind of waiting for the late season and you might as well bet on a rookie instead of someone that could just be like straight washed.
Right, like there's a world that Burks, Olave, Sky are like actually good by week 3, right? Maybe not. There's also a world where they suck the whole season. I think there's a world where you hold Hopkins clogging up your roster for 6 weeks. You don't get any new information about him for those 6 weeks, and then he might just be like a wide receiver 3. And I just think that's like a really expensive hold.
Especially like 6 round Hopkins, where you'll see him go sometimes is. We just went there. Oh, that was Henderson. Okay, that would have been a beauty on the way back.
That's okay. I mean, I think we have a lovely pick.
Yeah, we have something. We have something nice.
I think we have a couple lovely picks available to us. I mean, I would have loved Hendo, but I think we're in a nice position actually. Okay, so the one thing I would say here, now granted last time we tried to get cute and we got fucked, but team 10, team 12 both have quarterbacks. Team 11 has Sutton. If I had to guess, they would go Russ over Lance, no?
It's tough to say. Let me see ADP real quick. They gotta be close in ADP.
So Hines goes. So I guess what I'm saying is
Russ
I think they're close in ADP.
Okay.
They're close enough in ADP. Russ goes ahead of Lance in ADP. He has a Bronco. So I feel like if we want to lock in a particular player, I think that we could probably play for Lance to come back to us if there's someone we want. But it depends on if there's someone we want. Like I think for me,
the 2 wide receivers you have in the queue are pretty much the only 2 guys that I really like outside of Lance. So it's pretty much just playing the game of of Russ versus our QB and then the 2 wide receivers.
I mean, worst case scenario, if he takes Lance, we could still take Russ.
That is true.
Bad.
Do you have a strong lean between Sky and Burks?
I probably I've taken more Burks, so I guess I lean to Sky for this team, but I probably prefer Burks straight up. Or we could just take Lance and then figure it out.
I'm down to go Lance, and we'll see what comes back to us. If you're cool with
Let's just do that.
Yeah,
that's the guy we want anyway, right?
Yeah,
I think that 100%. Was like probably like slightly minus EV, but at the same time, I think we'd be really sad if we tried to play it cute twice and then we didn't get our guy either.
Oh yeah. We'll see what happens here. This is a nightmare turn on the last one.
I mean, and I think that we got Lance late enough where if we can get a super late Derek Carr, that could be kind of nice to have the combo platter.
Like you said, with kind of the that's somebody we had in the queue.
Yeah,
I haven't gotten to get him in any managed leagues yet.
No, I haven't either, but I'd like to. There's just the 2 other guys that I like a little bit.
He might have gotten Lance, man. If he goes Russ there, he either goes Lance or he goes Russ, so then we get Lance to come back.
I think he was going to go Russ no matter what because he has Sutton, but we'll never know.
Yeah.
But that's fine because he takes Russ. That still eats up a spot. That's not a player that we want. Yeah, I mean, I think the 2 rookie wide receivers both look really. Let's talk it out. If we have our chance to get both, what's your preference between Burks and Sky? My case for why I slightly prefer Burks is that I think we're going to get. Oh, well, let's hope we can get Sky then. Are we gonna play this wrong twice in a row at this fucking turn?
Now it's time to clench our ass cheeks for 3 picks again. Here we go.
I mean, it's not the end of the world if we get a running back here that we like, because we'll still probably have a chance to get like Garrett Wilson, Michael Gallup, maybe in the 11th, or Dotson. I mean, we only really need one more, maybe Dobbs.
Looking through what's going on in ADP.
Sky goes. Yeah, fuck. He goes Burks and Sky. That's
that is brutal.
Damn it. We've played this, I think, quite poorly the last 2 times, unfortunately. Damn it.
Yeah, I agree.
That's too bad. That would have been really oh well. I mean, I'm already quite exposed, but I always want to get more exposed. Would you have any objection to Rachaad White?
Probably not.
Is there anyone else that you like?
It would really just be Garrett Wilson and Claypool, but they might be in play on the way back.
I don't have any fucking interest in Claypool, but I guess if he comes back to us and Wilson and Dubs are off the board, then maybe.
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool with your boy if he makes it past Trader Joe 58 here. Man, that sucks at these last 2 turns, I have to say. After a really sweet start through 6. Still a sweet team. Of course, still a sweet team.
It takes Madison, so we're good.
The game theory, we've been put in a pretzel here the last 2 turns, sadly.
Well, I think we just this time we deferred the game theory. I think that I presented the game theory, which may have worked, may have not, and then we just chose to not use the game theory. But that's fine. Maybe that was me using game theory on you to get Rachaad White. You never know.
What happened.
All right, let's do it. Rachaad White.
Yeah. Let's go Rachaad White.
Well, I love our running backs, to be honest with you.
Running backs are sweet. We have Elijah Moore off the bench.
Yeah,
it's beautiful. I think as much as we got screwed we got screwed pretty tough in those 2 turns, but I think we had enough wide receiver firepower with the lucking into Diggs and Adams that we can afford to take the detours here.
Yeah, I mean, we have 5 strong wide receiver bets. I think that we really need like 1 to 2 more. And I think that there's guys the next turn that are interesting. I think that Garrett Wilson, of course, kind of tops that list. Dubs, Dotson. I even have some level of cursory interest in Tyler Boyd, especially with a Higgins team. I think it would be interesting where, like, say, Chase, God forbid, was to suffer some type of gory injury, and then we would have both Higgins and Boyd. I think that's kind of interesting. I think that I know he's missing the first week, which might be good because then he might come back to us. But I think that Rondale is someone that still would work on our team because we're not going to start on week 1 anyway. So I think that.
How far does James Cook fall for you after last night? Like don't think that I would even really consider him. Or I mean, I guess with Rachaad White on the board, but
yeah, he just wasn't a guy I was drafting before. But I wouldn't say that like last night, like ends me. I think that if anything, there's a positive version to what happened last night, which is that they didn't have any interest in using Singletary as a pass catcher. They used Zach Moss as the pass catcher. Yeah. And I don't know. I just think like James Cook is pretty live to get past Zach Moss at some point in time this season. I mean, so I don't know. I'm not out on Cook, but I'm fine with where he went. I like White better, but I've always liked White better.
Yeah. That's fair. Yeah, he's always been sort of like a mid-season play anyways, but that does just put like, I don't know, man. Or I guess, I don't know, McDermott kind of is a hand in the dirt guy, but it's just like, I don't know, you hate to see it. It does give you like sort of like almost like Ronald Jones vibes. It's just never good when a rookie, his first carry, fumbles. Wow, yeah. Isaiah Likely in the 10th. There it is, buddy. Have a blast.
Again, that is a choice.
His first tight end 13 off the board. There he is, in a tight end premium, where Likely is very much just a touchdown dependent best ball. Wow, he goes 12th round in these. He has an ADP of 12th round. Isaiah Likely.
That's going to be a bad pick.
Woo! Respect, man. I don't have the nuts for it. I can't do it. And we got Bills D. So I'm here just sort of coping with our last 2 turns. Man, you hate to see what happened there.
I think it's not that. I actually feel like
talk me into it.
I mean, maybe this is just because I love Rachaad White so much, but I like feel quite fine honestly about how the 9-10 went. I mean, like if someone told me before today we were going to get Lance White at the 9-10 turn, I would have been like, literally sign me up. So I'm quite fine with that, to be honest. I think that the Hunt Stevenson one is a little bit awkward, but at the same time, I will say that it is kind of nice that we were able to get 5 wide receivers we feel great about, but also have 2 running backs that like we don't have to worry about who the hell we're starting for the first couple weeks. Like we're starting.
Yeah, exactly.
Ramondre
We have a
Stevenson
zero
and
RB
Kareem
team,
Hunt.
and it's a zero RB team, but like we're not ruling out Naeem Hines or
Right.
J.D.
Like I think
McKissic.
that it's every other team that I've done that's been a 0 RB. Rashad White, I think, was the second running back that I've taken on it. And you know, you can never start Rashad White in week 1. So I think it's nice where like I think that it worked out. One of the leagues we started Darrell Henderson, and we got 12 points from him, which is, and you're doing a 0 RB team, you're thrilled with getting 12 points in week 1 out of your RB2. But I think that with our build, like it's nice where probably of all the 0 RB teams that I've drafted, we have, like, including even just regular managed leagues, like not just in this, but we have probably one of the easier week 1 lineups to set.
Yeah.
Like Diggs, Adams, Higgins, Waller, Ramondre Hunt, and then we can choose between Judy and Elijah. It's a really nice spot.
Yeah, I agree. We do just want to make sure, we got to make sure that they, obviously every team got to make sure they hit. I will say I had a team last year where I drafted like 5 or 6 straight wide receivers on a 0 RB team, and it was just maybe like the worst run of luck ever. I want to say it was Tyreek Hill, so that was like okay, and then it was Hopkins, which sucked, and then it might have been like Allen Robinson, Higgins, Ayuk, Claypool. That might have been like the start out of the 6, something like that, which was just brutal. So because it was a 0 RB team, and then like I was struggling to fit wide receivers into the flex. So that does give me some like PTSD, where it's like, man, like I would like to have as much wide receiver firepower as possible. Yeah. But obviously we're fine here.
There's fragility that goes both ways, right? Like I think that we've unfortunately injected some level of fragility into our wide receiver room. But at the same time, I think
don't want to bet against yourself either.
We've put ourselves in a strong position, where if we are right about our wide receivers, we've utilized the minimum degree of capital to get those 4 wide receivers, to the extent that we're able to put out 3 running backs, 2 of which I think are totally week 1 startable, and another with has elite upside. Like I feel really strong about Stevenson, Hunt, and White as the foundation of a 0 running back team, and I think. I don't want to speak too soon, but everything that's happened since we took Rashad White has been extremely positive. There's only 1 wide receiver, Gallup, that has gone off the board that would have been a player that I would have considered at this next pick. I think if we want to double tap receiver to get back on schedule, I think it's entirely possible. I guess Rondell, but like, the 2. This may be an area now in the draft where maybe we won't be quite as simpatico. Where do you see the guys? Like I think. At receiver, at least some of the guys that I put in the queue. I'll put Claypool in the queue for you. Even though, fuck, I don't want to take Claypool. Anyway, I think Garrett Wilson, I imagine we would both agree, is the number 1 priority.
Yeah, by a good chunk.
Okay, and then you like Claypool more than. Oh, he goes. Thank God. Thank you. Yes, I would have capitulated. But I didn't want to capitulate.
No, that's fine.
That I would have. But check out those.
I have our guy in a tier ahead, and then I'm right in lockstep with you. I do have Dobbs behind the 3 that you have behind him, but
interesting. Okay.
I could be talked into him.
Okay. Let's just hope we can get Wilson first, and then maybe some of the decision making will be.
That's what we're holding our breath for here. This guy's about to take his wide receiver 3 in round 11. Let's see it, buddy.
I also like the number 8 in the queue. Could potentially be pretty interesting to me too. But I don't know. Maybe you're not quite as high on him as I am.
Yeah, I'd want to wait. Just because we took Waller.
I just think that's a remarkable value at this part of the draft. But that's fair. Okay, well let's do Garrett Wilson here for sure, right?
Yeah, 1,000%.
Okay.
Right, you can.
So this to me like totally makes up for the last turn, because I would much rather have, honestly,
Wilson's in the same tier as Burks and Sky, or like
like
arguably, like in a vacuum.
At this point, the 2v2 is Wilson and Rashad White versus, let's say that we got that to work the way we wanted, where we had Lance in the 10th and we were able to get Burks or Sky at the 9th. It's like Wilson and White versus Burks and Khalil Herbert.
Yeah. You could almost make the case. That, I don't know. Like, let's say we go Burks, Wilson there. Like, that would have to be it at wide receiver. I mean, like, obviously, but it would be like it'd be bordering on the idea of like maybe we have too many.
But I just think we need to have outs to upside at running back, and I think that there's a certain part where, you know, the running backs available going forward, I think, like, have outs to being a usable piece. But like Rashad White's a guy where, you know, Leonard Fournette gets a high ankle sprain in week 12. We have an RB1, right?
Dude, I obviously never rooting for injury, but my goodness, the 0 RB bros would be. It would get outrageous. I will say, do you think he's drawing live at all to be like the third down back?
I don't think I'll be the third down back, but I think he will get early down usage. And with Brady, early down usage means pass game usage. Like, Ronald Jones 2 years ago had like 42 receptions playing exclusively in a timeshare on early downs.
Yeah, I'm not sure he'll ever be startable without a Fournette injury, but I don't know. Maybe there's a world out there.
Fuck.
Who went?
Romeo does. Granted, that you're probably feeling the same way about that I was about the Claypool one.
No, I 12th round Romeo Doubs I'm completely fine with, is what it comes down to. Like, there was this time where he was going like 8th, 9th, and it's I wouldn't have our two wide receivers that far ahead of him. I guess I don't know. I'm open to the idea that Dobbs is a little bit better than I'm giving him credit for. I think mentally I kind of have him in that maybe kind of between like the Talbert Wandale. And
see, I have him
Albert
like
Wandale, and then the Dotson Wilson area.
Okay, I have him above Dotson. I have him more even with Wilson. I have him like ahead of like Rondale. I'm quite interested in
and I imagine it's more situational, just the idea of like a rookie wide receiver drawing live.
Well, I think he's really fucking good.
Yeah.
I mean, he was a prospect that I was really. No, I mean, he's
I guess for a G5, like he has like a Jalen Tolbert-ish.
Oh, I think his profile's way better than Tolbert's. I mean, he's an 18-year-old breakout on market share receiving yards from the campus to Canton thresholding. In yards per team pass he's been right below basically each of his first 3 years along the threshold line. His profile looks like pretty similar, a little bit worse, but pretty similar to Michael Gallup, to a Cortland Sutton coming out of Group of 5. I thought that he was, like, I had him rated ahead of Watson pre-draft.
Really?
And so he's a guy that I think can legitimately play. I understand that he went in the 4th round, and so that's, you know, a major black mark on his stock. But he's a guy where if he went in the 3rd round, like, I'd be ranking him not in the same tier of, but like a little bit behind like a David Bell and a Wan'Dale Robinson.
Wow.
And so I think that he's a guy that has a better profile than was talked about, because I don't think he was ever expected to get draft capital. But I do think that he profiles not like elitely, but it's not bad. He has production. He has early production, and then he's in this incredible spot. Let's talk it through. I'll make the case for Albert O, but if you want to overrule me after hearing the case, it's fine. My case would be that it's tight end premium. We're getting him significantly after ADP. He has the opportunity, based on the ambiguity in Denver, to be as high as the number 2 pass catcher in an elite offense in a tight end premium soaring setting. He essentially would operate for us as our 7th wide receiver as a flex spot, and then also gives us 2 opportunities at an elite tight end with Darren Waller. I think that outside of the top 6 tight ends, that including Goddard, I think that there's no tight end that has a higher upside profile than Albert Okwuegbunam. And to get him this far past his ADP, I think would just be an absolute steal. But if that has not convinced you and you click Dotson, I won't resent you for it.
Let's go Dotson. I would feel better about it if we got like the Ayuk Smith area. But yeah, I would like one more rookie wide receiver here.
All right, this is the last receiver we're drafting then, right?
Yeah.
See, I think we could take like Christian Watson later or Hamler, but all right.
We're good. We're good.
It's all good. It's all good.
Yeah, my thoughts on that. I guess Christian Watson is interesting later on. I do like getting the Wilson Dotson area to sort of, especially with this wide receiver room, where we don't need to sort of look at the rest of our wide receivers in terms of start sits early on at all. But, two guys that can kind of help us in the back half of the season. That's just nice.
Yeah, but I guess my stance would be like, who's going to score more points as a flex, Albert O or Jahan Dotson? Who has the higher upside as a flex? Like, I think Albert O has like a lot higher median and a lot higher upside than Dotson as a flex play.
Really?
I mean,
it's close.
With the tight end premium, right? Like the upside scales. So it's like, what if Albert O is like really good? Like if we have Albert O getting an 18% target share with Russell Wilson, that's like a lot better than Dotson getting a 20% target share with Wentz when you add in the tight end premium.
Yeah, that's fair. You are convincing me a little bit after the fact.
I should have started the argument earlier, so I should. Unfortunately, I was revving up to make a Dubs case, and then Dubs went off the board. Then I was left with an Albert O case. That's okay. You got the Dotson pick. That means I get to pick whoever the hell I want on the 13th. I'm gonna pick.
Maybe he'll come back. Maybe he'll come back.
He's already 2 full rounds behind ADP. I don't think he's coming back.
Maybe he'll come back.
You never know. Some people have taken not Albert O tight ends.
Number I think 102 is lining up very nicely for it. But we got Dotson also like a round ahead of ADP, or past ADP. Yeah, dude, a lot of disrespect here. Here. Higbee's actually kind of interesting after last night. I think Pride and Premium, he probably had a great night.
Yeah. So I think this might be an extremely hot take. I think like if I didn't care about ADP, I think that Albert O would probably be my tight end 8.
8?
Like I don't think that I'd rather have Dalton Schultz than Albert O, to be entirely honest.
That's where it gets close to me. I will say I've also always been an Albert O guy. I have a good
really not. You didn't want to take him 2 rounds after his ADP.
It really just came down to the fact that we already had Waller. I was feeling burnt at wide receiver after missing out on Ayuk.
That's fair.
I have a shit ton of Albert O, but not to the point in managed leagues where it's a problem. All right, so now we just cross the figures.
partially, this is like an exposure thing. I will force Cam into an Albert O tomorrow. That's fine. But I don't have one, unfortunately, in the main. Which a lot of that is I like Edgram too, so that's interesting. It sucks that all these tight ends went before Team 2. Would have been lovely to see Team 2 take one of these 4 guys. But the nice thing is, if Team 2 doesn't take him,
take Hunter Henry, bud.
I don't think anyone's going to go back to back with these tight ends.
I do agree. I
like Njoku and Ingram too. I mean, all these tight ends, I think, honestly, this round is pretty nice value. Oh my god! You will see my
that make up for the turns, which I've fully coped with by now, and I'm no longer upset's the wrong word, but I no longer feel some type of way about it.
I think that the 9-10 turn was actually, in hindsight, was significantly better than what we.
Oh, there he goes. Oh man! All right.
And that was the one team I thought we were safe from.
Yeah. He's cranking purple. There it is.
It's the best pick of the draft right there for Team 1. He just got his tight end 1. He has a significantly better tight end at the 12-12 than he took at the 4-12 or the 8-12.
Respect.
Imagine taking Dawson Knox, but you could just have Alberto. Tough scene. Okay, never mind. Greg Dulcich is the best tight end in the class. He's going to steal Alberto's job. Alberto sucks.
Yep.
It's fine. I've had such a roller coaster with Alberto because I really love Dulcich as a prospect too. I thought he was like pretty clearly the second best tight end in this class. And so I was super in on Albert. And then the Dulcich pick happened and I was like, kind of have to cool down a little bit in Dynasty, but he's probably still gonna be fun to redraft. And then there was like all this hype that was like, it's gonna be a full-on route share year 1. I was like, oh, that sucks. But then the Dulcich injury, I'm like, all right, well, whatever. He's like not that expensive. We're going to get 4 weeks to see exactly what he is right off the top. And then if he sucks, then he's just an easy cut. And if he rocks, then, what are they going to do? They're going to like take away all of his routes when Dulcich comes back. If he's awesome for 4 weeks, probably not. So I feel like it's a nice kind of prove it window for Albert. But I haven't drafted him in a main yet because I keep drafting early tight ends. I think now up to out of 6 now in these FFPC teams. I'm at 3 Wallers, 2 Pitts, and then just the one late round team where we ended up with Ertz, Knox, and Njoku.
Wow. And you said you don't have any Andrews yet. I have one.
I don't have any Andrews. But that's a lot of that. Again, is just I've been drafting at the front of the draft so much he's never available there.
Have you seen these guys who are like? I feel like I've seen in. I know you listen to Ship Chasing here and there.
Yeah,
I feel like they've like I've seen like Pitts go like 9 before. Like it almost seems like sometimes I guess like maybe it's a slightly different environment in mains, but like I don't think I could stomach like Pitts or Andrews in the first. It just feels, I don't know.
Well, I think when you're in the back half of the first, I think a lot of what it is you're trying to figure out what's the combo of players I want most, right?
Yeah.
And so if you're like, I want the elite tight end, like let's say you don't have a major preference between Barkley, Swift, Dalvin Cook, right? And you're sitting there at the 110 and you're like, I want one of those running backs and I want the tight end. You just take the tight end first and you say, I'll get whatever running back comes back, right?
Yeah. That makes sense.
Which is, I think, why we've seen a lot. We'll see, a lot of times the boards look like this where they all go at the turn. And then sometimes they last all the way back. Because I think a lot of these teams, it's like, they're not making it back to me. So it's like, do I value the elite tight end or do I not really value the elite tight end?
What do you think? Like, what do you think about like a 2 tight end build in this? So let's say it's a 12 spot. Let's say instead of that Mixon pick, that's Adams there. I guess it would be tough to pass on Saquon or Swift though. But I get like Kelsey Andrews open is like kind of interesting, but I don't know.
So I'm pretty out on Kelsey, to be honest.
Yeah.
I prefer Andrews straight up.
Okay.
Now, granted, they basically go at the same spot here. So I'm just, I don't, if I can avoid betting on 33-year-olds, I try to.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, I just think Andrews and Pitts are so good and younger. And Andrews plays in this elite offense. It's like, I just think that Kelsey actually has more risk than Andrews. And I think that Andrews actually has a higher ceiling because he tends to earn more targets. He has less target competition. Like maybe
I'm just that they're going to pass more with Dobbins out.
Yeah, maybe I'm too optimistic. Maybe I'm too optimistic on how often they pass, but I think that like Andrews in a league average pass volume offense probably outscores Kelsey in a top 5 pass volume offense because he earns considerably more targets per route, and usually on a higher average at the target as well. And I think that, at least at the median, they would be similar in that scenario. And then I think there's just like risk of skill atrophy with Kelsey that Andrews doesn't have, which kind of is like a bummer to me that I don't have any Andrews in these FFPC drafts. Because I think that's probably one of my honestly, 2 of my hot takes for the year. I don't have any FFPC shares of, one being that Waddle is going to outscore Hill. And then the other is that Andrews is going to outscore Kelsey. I don't have any Andrews or Waddle, so slight bummer. I thought we were really well positioned to get both at the 1-9, but I also absolutely love the team that we drafted, so not sad about it.
We'll say I do wish we got that Dotson pick back, but it's all good.
No, I think that the Dotson
my call too.
I
will say I checked ADP. They both go like right next to each other, Albert Owen, Dotson. So it's a little bit, we got a value regardless.
Yeah,
it just comes down to it really comes down to if Julio's on the board here, then I'm gonna be sick to my stomach. We can't take him, but like that would be pretty shitty. Or he's still on the board. Jeez, dude.
I'll have no issues passing on a 33-year-old. I was really pumped to take Robert Tonyan.
Really? I don't hate that call.
I really don't like any of the tight ends now, which gets me extremely concerned. I really value having a strong tight end too in FFPC.
That's fair.
But at this point, I guess Fant, but the signals seem really ominous for him, even though I believe in the talent there. I don't know. We can take Julio, right? He'd be what, our wide receiver 8?
Yeah, we could. I'd actually, yeah.
What are the running back options? Eno.
Yeah, it's pretty much it's like McKinnon, Eno. That's pretty. Ty Davis Price.
No. I think there's only 2.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm open to Julio if you don't think that that's overkill.
So My only issue is I kind of want. Fuck. I'd also kind of want Carr at one of these 2 picks. I'd also want Fant at one of these 2 picks, and I think we should take a running back at one of these 2 picks.
All right.
I don't know. I think that my vote goes to Noah Fant.
Let's do it. Let's do
okay.
that. I'm cool with that.
Okay. I think that every other tight end is really abysmally bad.
That's a 2v2 that's gonna kill me. Julio and Alberto or Dotson and Fant.
I mean, there's definitely a world where Fant is better than Alberto. That's probably like 48% of the world.
Okay. Tell me a story about how Fant pays off this year. I've been hearing that preseason he's been just treated as like Will Disley's getting a lot of the snaps.
Yeah, I've been hearing that too. I kind of don't care.
Yeah.
I just think I don't know. No offense, just better than Will Disley. I just think that it's kind of just what are we doing here? They had Gerald Everett on the team with Will Disley last year. They let Gerald Everett walk for not a whole lot of money. They made Noah Fant part of the package in their trade return for Russ. I don't think that Fant's necessarily elite, but he's definitely good. He's better than Gerald Everett. Why would they use him less than they used Everett? I just don't think it makes a whole lot of sense. I don't think that we're going to see that. I think that we saw similar rumors of tight end committee last year with Everett and Disley. It came to pass in terms of snaps, but Everett was running a lot more routes. I think we're going to see Fant run a good amount of routes, and he's good. They're going to play from behind all the time. He's going to be the short area target for Geno Smith, and he's going to rack up tight end premium points.
We just went there.
Wandale goes. So I think that probably the sharp move is we take a running back, right? Because the Carr thing would be nice, but it's not necessary.
Yeah. Do you have a strong lean between Eno and McKinnon?
Eno.
Okay.
But I got the Fant pick, so if you have a lean against Eno, that's fine.
Now let's go.
My argument for Eno would be that we don't for sure know that either has a standalone role, but if Eno is the number 2, his contingent value is a lot higher than McKinnon, who's more of just a pass catcher. His path to a standalone role is that he needs to his path to contingent upside is that he needs to a collide injury and he needs to beat out 2 other guys. Whereas Eno, I think, is already kind of ahead for the contingent role.
Yeah, let's take Eno. I'm cool with that.
Okay. All right, that's
perfect.
Got all we're getting all the guys from my article here on the my hitchhiker running backs.
I was going to ask 3. If Kareem Hunt was on there. I thought he was.
He was not.
He wasn't? Damn.
I think it's because he went in the same round as Ramondre, and I chose Ramondre instead.
And you chose Ramondre as a round 8 or a round 7 guy?
Well, I was luckily using Yahoo, or I was using 4for4's aggregated ADP, and his ADP there is round 9. So I was able to sneak Ramondre into round 9.
Yeah, that's fun.
So Ramondre, I chose Ramondre, Darrell Henderson, Naheem Hines, Rashad White, Khalil Herbert, and Eno Benjamin.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah, it's got a pretty good start with Hendo, so hopefully there goes Carr. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, it does suck. That would have been fun on the way back.
That's fine. Lance is going to be the truth. If we want a QB2, we could still take Trevor Lawrence or something, or Justin Fields.
Stafford is on the board. Are you just?
Oh,
is he not even a thought?
Oh yeah, he's a thought. Yeah, he's a thought.
Don't have any correlation to him, but 15th round Stafford would be more than fine.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. I'd be fine with Fields, and I'd be fine with Lawrence. So I think that either way works. I think Stafford is a what if Lance isn't good kind of pick. He goes. But I think that playing Lance and Fields is also kind of interesting because you sort of get 2 shots at the same upside profile. I don't think Lawrence has quite that much upside, but I think he has a pretty fair amount of upside too.
I think that's going to be one of the more interesting things this year. Is I've been pretty all over Lance and Fields. I think it is pretty. like you're right where they can both hit, right? Where Trey Lance feels like sort of like Jalen Hurts last year was pretty obvious, and then he smashed anyways. But like Fields does have more of a Mahomes Lamar vibe, where he's going not undrafted, but he's going in a spot where he's getting pretty overlooked despite like the profile.
Yeah.
It's not like Lamar had crazy weapons either, but we're also talking about that's Lamar. But yeah, it wouldn't be shocking if Fields lit the world on fire in the same way we were expecting from Lance.
No, not at all.
He might just be good at football, man. He was that dude. Great prospect.
Phenomenal prospect.
I would have loved him at 2 for my Jets. Still would have loved him at 2 for my Jets. But
we could always take Zach Wilson if you want.
We'll take Joe Flacco. That'd be great. That'd be really fun. Can't wait to watch Joe Flacco be the starting quarterback for my team on Sunday, man. It's gonna be a great time. Probably just see it, roll through on red zone and then just, forget about it afterwards.
Hard to beat.
So rough in these streets, dude.
That's a tough scene all around, yeah.
As much as I think that Joe Douglas has been great, man. I mean, it's not like Zach Wilson. He's not written off yet. I think from a real life perspective, he's probably better than he is from fantasy. And I was starting to buy in until this meniscus thing. Did you? I mean, we all saw the play, but he was like scrambling in a preseason game and like tries to juke out a linebacker in his first scramble of a preseason game. Just
it's not good. It's not good.
So Jets, man. But yeah, that's where we're at.
Imagine just a tough scene being a Jets fan. Oh man, I just found out that our draft tomorrow with Cam got the 110. So basically, I get to do this team all over again.
Maybe now you'll get Andrews or Waddle.
That's true.
Because ours wasn't. I mean, you're still gonna be in the same range as a lot of these players, but ours wasn't, like as storybook as we thought it. I mean, we lucked into the first 3 picks. Mm-hmm. I mean, this could have easily have been like Diggs, Saquon, Mike Williams or something. I don't know.
Yeah, sure. I love our team. This is honestly. I mean, we have 4 running backs with all-purpose skill sets. All of them potentially have a path to be playing in a top half scoring offense come the playoffs. We have obviously, 5 really strong early receivers. We have 2 high upside bets in the 6 and 7 slots. We have the pathway to an elite quarterback and tight end. I mean, it's a pretty textbook type of team.
Yeah, this is my favorite 0 RB team I've drafted this year. This is. If you were to make an article about what a 0 RB team should look like, this is up there.
Oh, this is good.
What an ideal 0 RB team, dude. Diggs, Devontae up top is gonna be so sweet.
And you know what? In hindsight, like I know that we at first kind of didn't like some of the terms we got, but I think what we did nicely was we captured, I think, the highest upside portion of the 0 RB window with Stevenson, Hunt, and White. And then we captured the end of the high upside of the wide receiver window with Wilson and Dotson.
I agree.
So I think like we could have paid up for like the premium upside rookies in Burks and Sky, but I don't think that Wilson and Dotson are fundamentally that different of a bet. And then you end up with a pretty strong consideration for making that sacrifice by getting Rashad White, who it's just I think clearly from an upside perspective a better bet than like a Raheem Mostert or a Khalil Herbert.
Oh, very much. Yeah. Running back, I mean, it completely falls off a cliff by the 11th round. You're looking at McKissick, Algier, Brian Robinson draftable. Like that's a weird situation that like it's almost like weird to talk about it. But like, has there been any reports that he's going to be like back and playing? Like I don't know how. It was like at first it was like he might not play, for the rest of the year. Now they're saying maybe back like week 5 because of the pup status or whatever.
Yeah, I don't think you want to be spending bench spots on running backs that you aren't sure are going to have value later in the year that are injured, right?
You'd be burning a bench spot. Like it's
like there's a hidden opportunity cost to that.
Would you prefer Eno to Brian Robinson?
Yes.
Okay.
I just wouldn't be drafting Brian Robinson.
Consider it. Yeah, that's true. Because you gotta hold him, which is just especially in leagues like this where you want to churn. Yeah, the payoff isn't really even there either. He comes back and he's just between the tackles guy. I mean, like obviously there's contention, but still wouldn't be 3 downs. Wouldn't be a great offense.
I think it's the same reason that I'm out on Hopkins. It's like I don't want to hold guys when it's one thing with like Godwin where, I guess the injury in itself is a question, but if Godwin comes back and he's Godwin, I have no question that he's ever in our lineup, right?
Yeah.
Like if Godwin is playing in week 13 through 17, he's 100% starting for us. If I'm just not sure that that's the case even with Hopkins, and I'm really not sure that that's the case, of course, with Brian Robinson. And so it's like, do I want to pay a hold cost for something? Okay, we're going to be back up. So I think we could go in a number of different directions here. I'm just going to toss out a bunch of guys. Tell me like the three that you find most interesting. So one option is we could take Tua as our complimentary quarterback. Another option is we still have like a couple of tight ends with some lifeblood and Hooper and Hurst, but I'm not really going to fight that hard for them. I do think if we want to take one more receiver, there are two that remain interesting, those being Alec Pierce and KJ Hamler, maybe Jamison Williams as well. And then the running back wise, we have several options. Well, there's Pierce. We have TDP is, a decent enough upside bet. Sony, Hilliard, Rex. I mean, Zach Moss is pretty interesting after last night. We could literally just put him into the lineup, maybe even. P. Ryan will probably be available later. What would be guys that you hate the least out of that mix?
I think Moss is interesting. I do think Jameson is interesting. I do think that Hamler's interesting as well. I do have Hamler everywhere. Tight of his price is interesting. Do you think it's important to get some kind of correlation to that 49ers situation outside of Lance? I will say I think naked Lance is probably fine.
I think Ty Davis price is negatively correlated with Lance, so I don't think that's like a reason to draft him. Okay, my top three would be Hamler, Moss, and Tua.
Let's go Moss. Let's go Moss.
Moss? Okay.
Yeah. That's where his ADP is right now, anyways. 15th round Moss. I think
how many PPR points did he score last night?
I'd say maybe like 12.
Okay, because I'm wondering if we should should we just put him in over Ramondre if he scored 12 points?
It'd be close. Like I had imagine Ramondre's projections probably like 11, 12.
He had let's see. Okay, he only had 9.6.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need three more players right now. What would be your ideal position allocation here from 16 to 18, assuming we take kicker defense last two?
Well, I think that I'd like to have a second quarterback option, but I'm not like super tied to it. Probably be Tua or Mariota would be the guys that I would be interested in, but I'm okay if we don't.
And you think we could get away with a 16th round Hamler and not be overkill at wide receiver?
I'd like to do Hamler because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 running backs. So I think we should draft 2 more running backs, and then we can choose between a QB2 or a wide receiver 8. That's what I think.
I think that's a good way to go. I'm looking now. Now, I'm assuming if Hamler's gone, then it's pretty easy for you to be a quarterback, and Jameson's not really. There goes Tua.
Oh, there goes Tua. Okay, well, we don't have to think even about quarterback then, because if we want a QB2, we could get Mariota in the 18th. Let's see. So like Chark, Hardman are like kind of whatever to me. I just don't think they do a lot for this team in particular. I think that
Hamler. You prefer Hamler over Jameson?
Yeah, it's the same thing. I just don't like holding these injured guys.
That's fair.
But I don't hate the Jameson idea. I think David Bell's the other guy I'd throw out.
I agree. Looking through, I don't think anything's super interesting at running back right here. I mean,
the thing I like about Hamler is the same thing that I liked about the Albert O pick, is that I think that this Denver offense, I think, is probably going to have 2 big hits. And I don't know that it's the 2 that are priced the highest. And we have Judy, and I kind of like the idea of making a compounded bet on Denver that, either we're going to have 1 big hit out of Judy and Hamler, or if Sutton fails, we have the opportunity to have 2 big hits. And I think that, we have these 2 guys priced at the top that we have reasons to be skeptical of, including the one that's on our team. And I think that it's an offense that's going to hit in a big way. I'm just not sure with who. I like the idea of getting 2 Broncos and getting
let's
2
go Handler here. I think that's fun.
Okay, cool. Because I mean, I think that those are interesting players to pair together, because I think that there's a world in which Judy, in the world in which Judy fails either by injury or by skill, I think Hamler's probably a major beneficiary of that, and that protects us. And then in the world in which Judy hits, I think there's still a world in which Sutton fails or is injured, and that we get double correlation off of that. So I like this Hamler pick, and then we can just do Green the rest of the way here, I think.
Yeah, I agree.
Let's see here.
Yeah, quarterback.
Add a bunch of names in. Okay, I'm gonna add 1 million names into the running back queue.
All right. I keep ending up drafting the same running backs late, so I'm very much open to literally whatever you want to do.
Well, I also draft the same running backs late, so how about we each pick one, and then we'll get different guys.
That's a good idea.
Who are the guys that you keep drafting late?
I keep drafting Sony. I keep drafting Sony. I keep drafting Dearness Johnson. Quite a bit of Rojo.
So my guys are Hilliard and Pirine.
I have some Evans and some Pirine, but not enough to the point where I'd want to shy away. I do like Pirine. Yeah. So really for me, it would just be like Dearness Johnson, Sony. Is there anybody else out there? No.
The other guy I like is Kenyon Drake.
I haven't gotten any of him either, so I'm very much open to that.
Well, let's do one of my 3: Drake, Hilliard, and Pirine. I like Rex Burkhead too.
I haven't gotten any Rex Burkhead yet, but he's someone that I would like to have.
Okay, so I'll put Burkhead at the top, and then the other guys for my slot would be Hilliard, Drake, and Pirine, and then pick whoever you want in yours. I'm fine with Dearness. I'm fine with Rojo. I'm fine with Sony. I'm fine with any of those guys.
Now is the scenario where pairing Dearness Johnson with Kareem Hunt, like, is that still a good move? Like I imagine that like they're both live to go anywhere. Just like, let's say obviously never want to predict an injury, but somebody big goes down week 1.
I mean, what about the Rams? They don't have a running back right now.
Yeah, that is very true. Like I guess, but Dearness Johnson ever get traded? Like, is he even big? Like, I guess I don't know. Someone like give up like a 5th round pick for Dearness Johnson.
Yeah, I think until the trade deadline that move is still live. It's less live than it used to be, but I don't think it's terrible.
I agree. I do think it is. It's still in the cards. Well, there goes Drake.
Yeah, I don't think it's a dead idea at all.
Because I'll be honest with you. Most of my Kareem Hunt teams have Dearness Johnson, but I did have to drop Dearness Johnson in a couple leagues for kickers and defenses recently. Because it was like the game 3 play, but it was like, yeah, you're right. Where if it hasn't happened by now, it's unlikely. It's more unlikely than it was prior to happen, but it's still in the cards. Like the upside scenario where they both hit, or both, one gets traded, one becomes the handcuff. Is still very much there. Now, if we didn't have Eno, like, would you still be drafting Darrell Williams in this area? Like, I think
he's acceptable.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like 17th, I've taken him in a couple of places where if I miss out on Eno early, I'll just take Darrell Williams like 17th, 18th round.
Yeah. I think it's a backfield worth targeting. I don't even hate taking them together. Like, I think I did this in another league where I just took Evans and Pirine with my last 2, and then I was like, all right, well, I'll see who's playing in week 1, like whatever snaps that Mixon isn't, and then I'll just cut the other one.
Yeah, that's a great way to look at it.
Because we need cuts week 1 anyway, right? So I don't think it's the worst thing to say, like, we're going to have the Cardinals back up. We'll see who plays more week 1. We'll cut the other one. I mean, you don't necessarily know that the one who plays more week 1 is the one that you want to have if Connor gets hurt. But and then the nice thing is, like, let's say Connor actually does get hurt week 1, then we don't have to worry about any waiver claims. We have both guys, right? So I don't 100%. Mind taking Darrell too.
There's Romeo Dobbs, and one of the ones I did from like early on, like maybe like the last week of July, first week of August. I was doing this first week of waiver claims. Tried to get Romeo Dobbs. Maybe I was getting too cute. I wanted to say I put up maybe like 25 to 30%. I think the guy who got him went like almost 50% on him.
Good for him.
And it was a double hero RB team as well. I'd have loved to get Dobbs there, but you wait to see. I got a pretty cheap bid on Pacheco though. I think I got him for maybe 12%, 13%.
Well, that's pretty nice.
So I will take that.
Yeah, I didn't do any big bidding, and I think the only one that I've done on that is Scott Fish. I didn't do much big bidding. I didn't have a particularly high degree of interest in Isaiah Pacheco. I already had Romeo Doubs rostered. Shout out to me. So I just like dropped Rojo and Will Fuller, rest in peace, and picked up Hilliard and Burkhead.
Okay, yeah.
I picked up
Burkhead.
I'll be starting Rex Burkhead in week 1 of the Scott Fish Bowl. So I know it's unfortunate, but that is the case. I wish that were not true.
He's a nice play this week.
Yeah. I'm also starting Romeo Doubs, I think, because my wide receivers are, when Godwin is healthy, they're gonna fuck. But it's I have Kupp, Higgins, Deontay Johnson, Judy, Godwin, Sky Moore, Traylon Burks, Romeo Doubs, I don't think I'm going to start Godwin this week unless we get some sort of report that he's not on like a tiny snap count. So then it's between Doubs, Burks, and Sky. And I think in terms of week 1 projection, it's Doubs.
I agree. Especially if Lazard can't go.
Oh, he's not going. He's doubtful, baby. He is doubtful.
I don't know. I hate to make fun of grown men playing football, but it is pretty funny that he got like stepped on, and that's pretty relatable for everybody out there. Like we've all been stepped on.
Well, yeah, I think the people drafted him in round 6 got stepped on every time they did a draft. It's a tough scene for the Lazard drafters.
I feel him though. I played 1 year of basketball in high school, and I got just from being a big man down low, you get stepped on a ton, dude. It got so bad that I had a purple toe that just the nail just fell off. It was ugly. So shout out Alan Lazard, man. Support our fellow guys who get stepped on. It happens to the best of us, Lazard. I don't know. It turns out maybe he's more human than the Lazard truthers would like to admit. All right. So we're pretty much just looking down 2 running backs. JMO's still on the board. Not that I think we can even afford to take him, but it's interesting.
Oh, JMO's still, man. I just jumped him. But yeah, I don't think we can take him under. I don't think we need a 9th wide receiver on this team.
Yeah, we don't.
I mean, maybe he'll be available on the waiver wire. You never know. I mean, here's the thing: is I just think there's going to be a running back that we're going to want to pick up off waivers week 1, almost certainly.
I agree.
We've already seen Zach Moss play. So I think that the only running back on our team that we could realistically cut right now would be Eno if he's not at all involved. Otherwise, maybe we could cut Fant potentially if he just has a total dog shit role.
Yeah.
But otherwise, I think we
quietly a revenge game for Fant on Monday.
It is a revenge game. So I think we kind of need a guy to cut, and if we took Jameson Williams, I just feel like he's not surviving the weekend.
He goes anyways.
Okay.
All right. Do you want to take your running back first?
Sure. I will take Samaje Perine.
All right. Perfect. Warren's off the board, yeah. Have you been taking any of Warren? Is he interesting to you?
So I think he's interesting, but I don't know. I think it's one of those things where I feel like there's still better picks.
Yeah. Well, the hype has gone out of control to the point where I'm looking at ADP now, or not out of control, but he's going.
I guess
I'm trying to find who he's going ahead of that I don't like. But it's such an ugly part.
I'm just trying to figure out why he's a better pick than Perine and Hilliard and guys like that. I'm just not sure.
Yeah, he's gotten to a point now where he's such an expensive handcuff that you can just take other ones later. But I mean, during that small pocket of time where we had, the info that he was going to be the handcuff and he was still going, last round of drafts, he was interesting then.
Yeah. I mean, probably better managed, right? The guy I just can't stop clicking in round 20 in best ball on DK is Dontrell Hilliard. But a lot of that is I just he's going to have some Jeremy McNichols-esque games where he has 5 catches for 40 yards in a game that Henry plays which in DK best ball, that might be your RB2 at a given week. Whereas, for managed, I'm not quite as high on Hilliard. I prefer P. Ryan. Is probably my favorite last round guy in managed.
I love the offenses of pretty much our last 4 running backs, all in really nice offenses. Cardinals, Bills, Bengals, Bucks.
That's what you'll always get drafting with me. We're gonna draft pass catching running backs over 210 pounds and good offenses.
Are you cool? Are you cool with Sony here? I'd be down
for anybody you want to take. Yep.
You take the last second gander here.
Yeah, this is all up to you. I co-sign whoever. There's probably a 60% chance that we're cutting either this guy or Pirine. So what are the two?
Let's go Michelle. Let's see what happens here with Michelle.
Me.
Another guy in a great offense.
My bell. All right, so you have another draft in 15 minutes. I have a DFS show. Why don't we just load up our queue with kickers and defenses, and then wrap this thing up here?
All right, King. I'm down. Do you have kicker defense takes?
Yeah. How about I'll add all the kickers to the queue. You want to add all the defenses to the queue?
Yeah, I'm down.
My kicker take is Will Lutz. He plays indoors at home against the Atlanta Falcons in Week 1.
My defense take is
Dennis Allen is a defensive head coach. So
I like that.
But I'll put a couple more in the queue behind him. I'll put
potential shootout in a dome game.
I'll pray to you, Matt Prater, and I'll put McManus, and I'll put Suck Up and Blankenship. We'll get one of those. Defense. Who's your defense?
I'm looking. I like
Some
Beemore. I like Beemore. I don't know if that's they're playing the Jets, but they're probably not going to come back to us.
Some good options in defense are.
This guy is pretty nice.
Carolina gets Brissett, followed by Daniel Jones. Cincinnati gets Mitch Trubisky. Tennessee gets Daniel Jones. Philly gets Detroit, followed by.
Why would you list Daniel Jones? He's going to be great.
It's true. It's true.
Damn, Philly defense goes. All right, so how many defenses do I got queued up here? Baltimore, Cleveland, Carolina.
Cincinnati for sure is one to add.
Yeah, let's put Cincy up there.
Whenever you can start a defense against Mitch Trubisky, that's never a bad decision. That should be enough.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. All right. So what?
All right.
You're heading out of here, and I'll hold down the fort.
Well, I think you're heading out of here pretty soon too, aren't you?
I think I'll probably use the same broadcast. I think I'm just gonna back-to-back stream, hang out with chat.
Okay. I'm heading out. I gotta quickly use the washroom, look over the show sheet, and get ready to talk some DFS.
All right. I appreciate you hopping on the channel. I'm very excited about this team too. This is my favorite 0RB team that I've drafted this year.
It's a great team.
But yeah, appreciate you coming on. I'll let you get to whatever you got to go to.
Yeah, man. So if I'm on Twitter,
want to plug it, feel free.
Sure. If I'm on Twitter, FF_RTDB. Of course, you wouldn't want to leave Ron hanging here as he goes to draft their team. But if you are interested in DFS, you can catch it on iTunes in the morning. The Big Tilt, the DFS show on Roto Underworld Podcast Network. It's Chase and I's debut show as new hosts of the Big Tilt on Player Profiler. So we're going to be recording that live in just 10 minutes, and then that'll be up on iTunes first thing in the morning for you all. So pumped to move on with that. And then tomorrow morning, I'll be doing a FFPC Football Guys Challenge, my last draft of the year with Cam. I don't know if we're going to stream that. We might.
Have you guys streamed any of them yet?
The audio. We streamed the first one.
I want to see Cam on camera. I haven't seen any content with Cam.
Yeah, the first one we streamed, and then we ended up taking Zach Ertz, and then we blamed us streaming for that. So maybe we'll stream this one too. We'll see.
All right.
We're in a groove now. All right. Have a good one, brother. Good luck. This is an awesome fucking team.
Yes, very nice.
We want to recap the team for everybody quick while I'm here?
Yeah, let's do a little recap. We get RJ Barrett, 50 cal out of the 9 spot. We get Diggs, Devontae, Higgins, just sweet. Glorious piss. Waller, Judy, Elijah Moore. I mean, we'll have two guys in Judy and Elijah Moore as our last flex as like two really solid wide receiver options. Finally get a Ramondre team. This is a zero RB team where we can start Ramondre Kareem Hunt week 1 and like not even be super like we're not even super pressed is like the crazy part.
We're not pressed.
Trey Lance, Rashad White off the bench, Wilson, Jahan Dotson, the kind of arbitrage Burks and Sky Moore after sort of getting missing out on them. I would have loved to have Albert O. We'll forget about it. We'll drink our sorrows away with Noah Fant.
The North remembers.
We'll get arbitrage Noah Fant, or arbitrage Albert O and Noah Fant.
Former team.
Eno Moss, Hamler like 3 rounds past his ADP. Samaje Sony. It's a sweet team. I'm very excited for this team. This is why the FFPC is great.
Absolutely love it. All right. Rock and roll.
All right, King. All right, have a good one.
See you later on. It's a blast.
All right, how are we doing, fellas? Now it's just me and you guys. I will say I've been on the FaceTime HD camera this entire time. Had some issues going live. I put the what am I trying to say? I scheduled the live stream on a different software I use where it's not as good for like having guests on and stuff. So it really screwed me up where. All right, so hold on. I know Jacob really wants Will Lutz here. But let's go Baltimore D, dude. Baltimore D feels like a defense that you can start forever. Hate to sort of veto his kicker picks, but he has so many in the queue that will be all right. Gaudry, is you giving me a B- on this team? Come on. Don't give me a B-, dude. All right, so I have to make the executive decision right now of do I cut the live stream before this next draft starts? Or do we just ride it out on StreamYard? What do you guys think? Nope, not what I wanted. Nope. What do you guys think? What's everybody in the chat saying? Should I leave it on StreamYard for this next draft, or should I run and make a new stream? I will say it'll probably hurt the views on it, but I don't really care a ton if I'm being honest with you guys. But we have right here on tap, we have a NFFC draft out of the 104 right after this wraps up. It's going to start at 7, so pretty seamless back to back. Wanted to give you guys a little bit of a makeup after yesterday couldn't really get an upload out, couldn't get a live stream together for you guys. And honestly, not even that. I was going to plan on doing this anyways. It just so happened that I wanted to do 3 drafts between now and I wanted to do 3 more drafts after the Thursday night game. By the way, I probably should have explained it a little bit more, but you can draft these guys who played on Thursday night and you can use their week 1 points in week 1. So you'll get some really crazy values. That's why Allen Robinson fell. That's why Darrell Henderson went 9th round. Cam Akers went 6th round. The guy didn't get any value on Akers. God bless. Yeah, I'm gonna start a new stream. I think I'm gonna start a new stream. Let me try and do this very quickly. I'll try and do it very quickly here. All right. So I'm actually gonna end this stream. I'll end the stream right now, and then just be on the lookout. I'm gonna make a new stream in literally 30 seconds. All right. So I will see you guys. Oh, wait. Is this? Did I do it? All right, so we're on the clock. We're gonna take Will Lutz. Did I simply just transfer this over? Let me look at the YouTube feed real quick. What does this look like on YouTube for you guys? Nope, I did not transfer it over. Hold on. Guys, I think I might be a genius. Let's see what happens if I end the stream on StreamYard. Might be a genius. Let's see what happens if I end the stream on StreamYard.